Hey guys, so I this is stuck. Hey guys, so I'm working on something really quick and I wanted to share it with you because it's sort of a special project that I'm working on, and if it works out today and I like the final product, I'm going to share the final product with you in the group, and I'm sure some people are going to want to know where the props came from, so I'm going to record this while I'm making it so I can show you if it works out, which hopefully it does. What I'm doing right now is I have this little bed, and you'll see it in the images I'll use it in the future anyway, but if it works out today. And it's really cute. It comes with two really nice pillows, a smaller one and a larger one, and you can pick the material of the pillows. I just chose a cream so that it's neutral for everything I do. And then this is what the inside looks like. It's like netted and it's pretty firm, so you can put baby on it. And I chose the distressed cream one. So anyway, the reason I'm showing you this is because when I ordered this, I planned to use it just, to put baby in for overhead shots and side shots anyway, just with neutral colors, or, since the bed's neutral, I could pair it with blues or pinks, whatever the parents like. But also when I saw this bed, I got this image in my head and this idea of Princess and the Pea, if you're familiar with that story. I think it's pretty much an international, children's fairy tale story. So anyway, the newborn I'm shooting today is actually the newborn of a friend of mine from high school who reached out when I initially started my business, like day one, and she wasn't due for a while. And so I told her I would do her maternity shoot for free to build my portfolio. And I quoted her a very low price for her newborn shoot because I was just starting and I didn't have my prices really set yet, and I wasn't sure what to charge, and I had never done a newborn. Since then, I've done 11 or 12 newborns, and now my price is a lot higher, and so it's not really a great deal for me today, but she's a friend, and that's okay. So obviously I kept the price at what I had quoted, but one of the things that I want to do to help make the session more worthwhile on my end, and I don't say that to be rude because she is paying me, so obviously that is worth on my end something, but this is her style. This is what we're using today. We're doing purple for baby girl, and this is her style with gemstones and whatnot, and then I'll do some white, and then she has a Bruins hockey outfit and stuff. So all of that is fine, but none of that, if you look at my images, is necessarily my thing. I don't do a lot of purple, but when I do, it's a very soft lavender, and I prefer florals over gems and stuff. It's just a stylistic thing, and most of my clients let me actually sort of curate that on my own. They just give me colors. So that's fine, but what I like to do is do at least one more neutral set with a headpiece that I choose, or something like a headband that fits into my portfolio better, so I can use those images in my portfolio or on my website, and they'll look more cohesive to what I like to do when I'm doing newborns, I should say. So anyway, getting off topic, but when I saw this bed, which I just got in, I got it with my nifty little item I've been talking about that I'm going to also test today and review for you. I'm still not giving it away, but it came from that same company. So when I ordered this bed, I got this image in my head of this Princess and the Pea image, and I only have one little girl. That's not true. I think I have a little girl on Monday, but I was going to say I only have one little girl booked for a while. But anyway, I have a little girl today that's a little girl of a friend of mine's. And since she's a friend, even though her style is a little different than mine, and I am doing the style that she likes, she's also going to let me sort of play around. So what I'm making right now are these little mattresses. And as you can see, this corner is weird. I tucked it in too much, but they do not need to be perfect for what I'm doing today, because I am doing sort of a Princess and the Pea style image, and I want them to be a little bit whimsical and all over the place anyway, so that's fine for what I'm doing there. I sort of fixed it. So I'm going to show you quickly how I am making one. I'm going to make 4 of them. They're not very high because I don't want to stack the baby actually up like 10 feet in the air because that wouldn't be safe. I could do that with a composite, but I'm going to stick a little more natural today and try to just actually take the shot without the composite if possible. So I don't want to make them too high. So I'm making 4 of them, so it'll still be well under the headboard and footboard. Like it'll only be, so she'll push it down some when I layer on them. But what I'm using to make these, in case you see the after image and you're wondering, the bed is from littleprops.com. I believe that's the name of it. I will link them. And it was around, I can't remember, like around $100. I think I had a coupon. But yeah, my husband is a woodworker by trade and can actually make this fairly easily, but would have taken another like year to build it since I asked him. So I just went around him and ordered it somewhere, and that was not a bad price compared to some that I had seen on Etsy and stuff, and it's a really good quality. I really like the product that I ended up getting. So what I'm using to make the mattresses, and you could do this anyway just to make different mattresses if you wanted for different looks. Like I might cover some in a knit fabric or in a Sherpa fabric or something. If I don't want to just put baby right on the yarn that they have as like the base of it. But what I'm using to make it is low loft quilters batting, which you could use a higher loft if you're just making one mattress. I really didn't want to make the baby too high. I was like nervous to make the baby too high, so I want to accomplish a look like there's a lot of mattresses under her, but without making it really high. So I went with the low loft. So I have it, this is the way it came in the roll, folded over several layers. So I just cut a piece that's about the size of the bed, a little bit smaller, or a little bit wider, so that when I wrap the fabric around it, it can kind of compress it a little bit. And then I'm using fat quarters. It's a funny name if you're not a seamstress, which I'm not, but I'm using fat quarters, which are basically little squares of pre-cut fabric that they sell, and mine are from Walmart, and they're 97 cents, and they have some fun colors and stuff. So I just picked 4 colors with a couple different patterns that I didn't think would like clash, but they look kind of whimsical because that's the look I'm going for. And all I'm doing, I'm going to show you how I make one, is I'm just unfolding the piece of fabric, and you'll see it's not that big. I'm sure it's a measurement like some portion of a yard. Oh, probably a quarter yard. You can tell I'm not a seamstress. And in an ideal world, I would steam out the lines or something, or iron it or whatever. But I am literally leaving for this in a few minutes, so I don't have time to do that, and that's okay. I'll just fix them in post if I need to for the purpose of today. So I'm just laying it down wrong side up, or like the inside up, putting my piece of batting in the middle, and then I'm just going to fold over each side, and I'm starting with the short sides. Here, I'll show you. Starting with the short side. Just fold over each side, and now some of you are going to be like, what the heck with a newborn? I am just pinning them with sewing pins. I'm not actually sewing it right now because I don't have enough time. I'm starting them on the back, like I'm coming from the back to the front, if you can see, and then back through to the back. So I'm fairly confident that the one that she's laying on is not going to come unpinned. But if it did come unpinned, it would come through the back, so it wouldn't be stabbing the baby. Not funny, but it wouldn't be stabbing the baby. So yeah, ideally you would want to sew these though for long term, because obviously the pins are probably going to come out if I leave them in there forever and ever and I never sew it. I will sew it. I'm not a great seamstress, but I can hand sew well enough to roughly sew these fine. I just don't have time to do it right now because I literally just picked this up at Walmart when I decided I was going to go through with this Princess and the Pea thing. But anyway, my point being that, I asked Mom if it was okay with her once we've gotten her shots if I do this Princess and the Pea image with her daughter, and she was fine with it. And so that's what I'll do sometimes, especially if it's people that I know personally. But even when it's not and it's just a random client I'm not like friends with, I'll ask them sometimes, is it okay with you if I bring a new prop or something that I'm looking to get a sample image of? and use that once we've gotten through the colors that you picked and whatnot, if baby is still being cooperative. And a lot of people will say, yeah, it's no problem. You know, my own daughter, the photographer, did that at her newborn shoot. She told me she had some new headbands and stuff she would love to grab extra images of, and you know, I was fine with that. So it's a good way, especially for a shoot like today where I kind of now am not making as much on it as I might have liked to, but that's just a product of having scheduled it when I had just started and whatnot. But this will be a good way to get kind of like a portfolio image I'd really like to have out of it and be able to put that on my website and stuff. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. So you can see I've just pinned all the corners that I folded over. And like I said, I'm fairly confident that they won't come unpinned in the few minutes that I need to have her laying on one of them. But I will sew them moving forward. And then all I'm going to do, once I have 4 of them, is just stack them like this, slightly askew from each other, so it looks a little bit funny and whimsical. And I have a blue and a yellow, so I think it'll get that look, like Princess and the Pea look, and be pretty whimsical. And then I'm using, in case you see in the image and you can't tell what it is and you want to know, I'm using a felt little pom-pom, like a craft pom-pom, as the pea. This is brighter than I want it to be a little bit, the coloring of the pea, but you know, there's only so many craft balls you can find, so I couldn't really be picky. But I will just edit the color and mute it a little bit or something in post if I need to. And then I have 2 crowns I'm bringing. Actually, this one is like a white lace crown, and you can make this out of lace. They just spray it with like starch, like spray starch, to harden it and glue it and whatever. You can see it's folded over and glued right there. I actually purchased this on Etsy for my own daughter's newborn photos and used it in those, so I already have it, which is why I'm not making it, but you can make it. I just didn't back then. I don't know. It was like probably $15 or something. And then I have this one. So I haven't decided yet, because this one kind of matches the bed better. But yeah, I haven't decided, and I might take one with each of them balancing on her head and then decide later which one I prefer for my website or whatever. But this one is just a like crystal, it's not focusing, but a crystal rhinestone, there we go, that's better, crown. This one is from Bailey's Blossoms Boutique, and it was, I think, on clearance actually, so it was only like $3 or $4. And so yeah, I'm gonna bring both of those to use, and here, hopefully you can imagine it. Do you think this is gonna come out good? Actually, if you're watching this, you've already seen the final product, so hopefully it came out good. But that's my plan for today. So, and I wanted to talk about it too, because I wanted to just talk about including, like, you know, new props or things, colors that you want to feature in your portfolio. I had somebody from the group ask me earlier how I got so many varied sets and backgrounds and themes or colors or whatever in the few months that I've been shooting professionally. For my portfolio, and do the parents pick or do I pick? And the answer is I usually ask the parents what colors they prefer, or if it's for a cake smash or something, if they have a theme or something that they prefer, and I will work around that and try to make it also stylistically look like something that I would pick, even if I'm working with their colors or themes or whatnot. But I also will ask them sometimes, especially for newborns or whatever, if I can incorporate something that I'm looking to add to my portfolio. And usually they're fine with it. So it's a little bit of both. A lot of the parents I work with will let me totally curate what the setup looks like, and they just provide like, oh, I like soft pinks or whatever, and then I'll sort of go from there, or I like shabby chic, I like whatever, and I'll sort of go from there. And so I get a lot of freedom on making it look the way I want it to look, but either way, it's good to just ask the parents, oh, do you think that toward the end I can throw in some new props that I'm looking to get sample images of as well? And you can even include a few extra digitals that weren't in their package in their gallery as a thank you to them. So it incentivizes them a little bit, and that's a great way to be able to have some control over what images you're looking to get into your portfolio, even with paid clients. Okay, I hope everyone has a great day.